literally worked on this album while you were doing the Eras tour, which is mind-boggling. I think to everybody who hears it, that you were doing this like a seminal tour and also like working on this. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So like my question is, when do you, is it harder when you know there's a snake in the house?
I actually sleep a lot and I sleep often. It's just that I don't do anything other than this when I'm not sleep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't have a lot of other.
Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, October 17. So, you know that thing Blake does. Blake Lively. How she kind of zips around trying to attach herself to people for attention. Like she thrives off those A-list connections that keep her relevant even though, let's be real, she hasn't had a huge hit in forever. Most of her movies totally tanked at the box office. Then she accidentally stumbled into It Ends With Us, kind of took over the whole project, nearly wrecked it, and somehow it still did amazing. But not because of her. That success came from the book's 10 million copy fan army, all thanks to Colleen Hoover's loyal following. Anyway, lately Blake's been spending a lot of energy, either through sources, allegedly like Leslie Sloan, or her own team, trying to keep this whole storyline alive that she and Taylor Swift might be on the verge of some grand reconciliation. When Taylor dropped her new album, people instantly started reading into every tiny Easter egg, assuming Taylor was secretly hinting at Blake, because of a bracelet, or because Blake had a similar Lorraine Schwartz piece. So clearly, they must still be besties, right? Or maybe because of a lyric written back in 2024 before they supposedly fell out. And somehow that means the friendship's magically back on. And of course, Dumois, who's repped by WME, Sam Agency as Blake and Ryan by the way, started pushing rumors that Taylor and Blake had this secret reunion, meeting up quietly, back together but keeping it all hush-hush. Some even swore Blake was at Taylor's album launch party. Spoiler, she wasn't. There's been so much wild speculation that the whole Blake and Taylor aren't friends thing was actually a PR trick. A smokescreen to pull Taylor out of a messy public situation and make it look like she'd stepped away. Honestly, Hollywood thrives on that kind of illusion. Smoke and mirrors aren't anything new in Hollywood. That's practically the industry's favorite game. They've been faking relationships and building narratives for decades. Back in the day, when it wasn't acceptable for a leading man to be openly gay, studios would literally set up PR marriages. Like, have him marry a woman just to make him look straight. Those setups even had a name, lavender marriages. It was all about keeping up appearances. And it's not just that. Hollywood still pairs up hot new stars for publicity, to rising names joining forces for a few photo ops, boosting their profiles, and then, poof, the relationship crashes and burns a few months later. So yeah. It's not shocking people think the whole Taylor-Blake thing could be another orchestrated friendship. Every little lyric, every subtle moment, gets overanalyzed. Like, Taylor says, "Did you girl boss you close to the sun?" Or, "I like my friends cancelled." And the internet loses it, convinced she's talking about Blake. But me, I wasn't buying into any of it. I said just last week, until I see a recent picture of them together, I'm not believing a word. And honestly, I was expecting a quiet, strategic pushback from Taylor's team, most likely Tripine, leaking something anonymous to Page Six or Daily Mail just to shut the rumors down. Why? Because back when I was still getting updates from that one Daily Mail journalist, you know, the guy who practically inserted himself into this entire Taylor-Blake saga and leaked his texts with Leslie Sloan, he showed me proof that Taylor's own reps were telling people it was over. He flat out told me Taylor's camp made it clear that friendship is dead. Blake is out. Taylor's done. He even showed screenshots of conversations with Tree, which honestly made it look like a lot of those mid-do-shune stories about Taylor and Blake were being funneled directly through her. And Tree's whole message, that Taylor felt used, like Blake had leveraged her fame for attention, and that the two of them would never be close again. It's kind of wild how the public refuses to accept that the friendship's over. Everyone's convinced there's still something there, and it doesn't help that Blake's side keeps throwing fuel on the fire, planting these little, maybe they reconciled, stories. But today, Page Six doubled down, confirming Taylor hasn't had any contact with former BFF Blake Lively since the Justin lawsuit drama exploded. Now, I just want to make something crystal clear. People have really overhyped this whole Blake was Taylor's one and only best friend thing. That's just not true. Taylor has a lot of close friends. Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, Selena Gomez. She's got a whole crew of besties. And honestly, she's been tight with most of them way longer than she ever was with Blake. Blake tried to blur those lines, though. Remember when she made Taylor the godmother to her kids? Like, come on, that was obviously a PR move to make their bond look deeper than it really was. Especially when Blake has also said her sister is the godmother. Oh, and she once claimed the sisterhood of the traveling pants girls were you. These kids apparently have more godmothers than anyone on record. And let's not forget, Blake and Ryan aren't even religious. Ryan grew up Catholic, sure, but they don't go to church. And if those kids were actually baptized Catholic, the godparents would have to be Catholic too. That's literally how it works. So yeah, the whole Taylor's my kid's godmother thing. Completely symbolic. No church, no ceremony, just a headline grab. I think Blake did it strategically, to make Taylor feel like they were closer than they really were. And here's the kicker. She made Taylor godmother after knowing her for, what, less than a year. That's giving stage 5 clinger energy. Like, serious red flag behavior. That should have been Taylor's first clue that Blake was using her for publicity. But to be fair, Taylor doesn't always have the best radar for stuff like that. Her business and image are basically run by her inner circle, family and handlers who have kept her in this tightly controlled bubble. It's not hate, it's just reality. She's been protected for so long that she doesn't always see when someone's playing her. So yeah, the truth is Blake and Taylor still have bad blood. And Page 6 just confirmed it again, quoting, while gossip account Dumois claimed this week that the ex-friends, whose friendship fell apart after Lively's legal drama with the It Ends With Us director, had a quiet reunion, Page 6 hears otherwise. Oh, and scuttlebutt, that word. It's not an insult. It literally means gossip. Which is fitting, because Dumois has been basically Blake's PR arm for ages now. They're the same account that once claimed Justin had privately confessed to everything and that people would be shocked if they knew the truth. Please. Anyway, the latest word from Page 6 is that they've had no communication, no texts, no calls, nothing, since last winter when the lawsuit drama first exploded. So yeah, that timeline totally checks out. Because remember, everything started unraveling around January. Then in February, there was that whole Super Bowl mess where Blake apparently wanted Taylor to publicly back her, and Taylor flat out refused. Another insider confirmed the same thing. The ex-best friends haven't spoken or seen each other at all, though they kept the timing vague. And honestly, that vagueness screams Leslie Sloan. It's exactly the kind of non-answer her camp gives. Page 6 even pointed out that Taylor and Blake haven't been seen together in public since October 2024, which was right before everything blew up. The whole drama stemmed from that lawsuit filed by Baldoni, the one that's now been dismissed, where he accused Blake of weaponizing her friendship with Taylor. Then came the infamous text leaks where Blake referred to Ryan and Taylor as her dragons. Like, girl, what? Around that time, all this behind-the-scenes chaos came out. Blake allegedly bragging about being besties with her dragon, and how she'd only let Taylor's music be used in It Ends With Us if she got a piece of the deal, or total creative control over the trailer. There were even claims Taylor was at a penthouse meeting about the rooftop scene, which apparently made Taylor feel totally used. Sources said Taylor was hurt. She really valued that friendship, but once those texts dropped, she couldn't unsee the manipulation. She felt exploited. And that August follow-up report said Taylor was furious at how Blake had leveraged her name for clout in her feud with Justin. Like, genuinely angry that someone she trusted could think like that, let alone write it down. So, do I believe Taylor's team would leak all that stuff? That she felt used, angry, and betrayed, if they were secretly still close? Not a chance. Especially when, just last month in September, during the legal filings over the depositions, Taylor's attorneys literally wrote, "We take no position in this dispute." That's not something a loyal friend says. That's neutral distance. If you are really someone's friend and they're fighting a major legal battle, you stand by them. You at least sound sympathetic. But Taylor's stance was, "I take no side." That says it all. And remember, this is the Sam Taylor who sued a man for assaulting her during a meet and greet and won for $1, just to prove a point. She's always backed victims publicly, like when she donated $250,000 to Kesha during her case against Dr. Luke. So why would she suddenly go silent now? Some conspiracy fans think the reason Taylor hasn't publicly defended Blake isn't because she doubts her, but because she was supposedly tangled up in the whole movie hijack situation herself. Like, they claim Taylor's trying to quietly distance from the mess she might have helped create. But honestly, that theory doesn't track. She was literally on tour, in a new relationship, and by her own lyrics, she was just chopping wood and writing songs. She wasn't plotting PR scandals from the road. Then there's the other chatter. People swearing her new songs prove they're still friends. Like, oh, that one lyric's obviously about Blake. Except fans have said the same about Sophie Turner, Gigi Hadid, even Brittany Mahomes. Taylor writes in this poetic, open-ended way, intentionally vague, so anyone could fit the description. Unless it's clearly romantic, like, say, her references to Charlie XCX, it's up for interpretation. So no, I don't buy that any of these tracks are about Blake. Taylor's camp has been consistently pushing back against that narrative. If anything, it's Blake, and Blake only, keeping that rumor mill spinning to stay in the conversation. Some people online try to claim Taylor's playing both sides, feeding their friends again, hints one week and denying it the next. But honestly, Taylor doesn't need Blake for relevance. Her latest album broke every modern record since streaming metrics were introduced, over 4 million sales in the first week. She's at the absolute top of her game. Blake, on the other hand, she needs Taylor. Taylor doesn't have to manipulate the tabloids. She is the headline. But Blake, she's the one planting breadcrumbs, trying to keep her name attached to Taylor's. And then we even saw another silly rumor floating around this week that Blake's terrified the end of that friendship might hurt Ryan's reputation, which kind of just confirms both of them were using Taylor's shine for visibility all along. So that's the tea for today. Still no new updates about the leaked audio. Nothing's been released yet, but you know I'll fill you in the second that changes. For now, one thing's obvious. Taylor and Blake are not friends. Period. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that little bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.